Warning: the following video contains bright, flashing lights and/or imagery that may cause discomfort and/or seizures for those with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're not gonna make it, man!
I don't have time.
Maybe we cut our losses like we should have done weeks ago!
What's he talking about, Marty?
I told you this was a setup!
I can't!
We're not gonna make it, man! I can't even compile in time.
Then we go down swinging.
No.
I'm here. Slow it down. Hold out your hand.
Just go. Done. Andrade.
Bailed.
Sorry about your hand. What? You... Wait. No.
Hey. Let's get out of here, Arthur. Both of us. Okay?
Okay.
Your heart would struggle to move them. It had to grow. The only way it ever does. With others. Carry this power with mercy, Tenno.
Pause. Rewind.
Way it ever does. With others. Carry this power with mercy, Tenno.
Right there. Right there. I'm gonna draw that. Yep, I'm gonna draw that. Even though it looks like a nightmare to draw. Oh, yo. Why is Arthur so fun? Because best believe the things I would do to that man. Hey guys, it's Jules Straws, and welcome back to my first YouTube video in 2026! Woohoo! Honestly, I am proud of myself for releasing this in the first month of the year. Anyways, that intro was not me, okay? It was my evil twin. Anyways, as you saw on the title of this video, I'm drawing my Drifter and Arthur in one of the final scenes of the true ending for the Warframe quest, the Hex 1999. This piece took me about 38 hours and boy, by the end of it, my wrist hurt so bad it's not funny. If you're a fellow Tenno, you might notice that my Drifter's looks isn't updated to the current operator/Drifter visuals. That is because I drew this before the operator visual update. In fact, I finished this drawing on November 20th, and I only found out about the operator update December 1st. I'm pretty sure that's the date. You can only imagine the face I made when I realized I had to go back into this drawing and update my Drifter. But I did it. I would fit the updated version of my Drifter into this time lapse, but honestly, I think it's better for me just to make a part 2 because it looks like an entirely different character. I actually want to add on to that. I'm not trying to say I was not happy about the operator visual update. I was very happy about it actually because my operator she looked so bad. And I would actually avoid using my operator in Warframe and just use my Drifter even when in the story it made the most sense to use my operator. I couldn't bear with the face. So yeah, W Warframe for updating that because they look so much better now. Okay, going back to what I actually want to talk about. I want to discuss my painting process that I have going on in this video. My piece before this was actually the Solus X Lavellin drawing that I did, and you can see the differences between these two drawings. The reasoning for that is because I wanted to try something new with my art, which, as you can see, I did. Now, don't get me wrong, I really do like my Solus X Lavellin piece, but I just wasn't happy with my overall art style. I wanted to be better with lighting, anatomy, etc. And after suffering 2 anatomy blows to my ego, on the right is my Lavellin piece, the thumb was on the wrong side, and on the left is my Solus X Lavellin piece where the whole hand was wrong. It basically shattered me. My ego was destroyed, and the aftermath of that was me losing the motivation to do art. I didn't draw for a whole month, which is why there's a month gap between the two arts. You can imagine, right, when I saw this Warframe scene for the first time and I felt motivation to draw, I had to capitalize on it. And I'm really glad that I did. But when I opened alpaca, my drawing software, the first question I had was how and where the hell do I begin? Do I do a line art? Do I freeball? Do I just give up? These were all questions I had, and in the end, I decided to kind of get a sketch in and from there work in shapes. So my overall process was get the shape of the face, block in the colors, and blend like my life depended on it. Another example is that right now in the drawing, I'm currently working on Arthur's arm, shoulder, whatever it is. And I'm getting the shape of the lines and just blending it in and seeing if I'm doing it correctly. Previously, my art process would be do a sketch, line art, flat colors, get in the actual colors, blend, and then do like a multiply layer or like a soft light on top. Only occasionally did I do grayscale. I also want to mention I did keep the reference photo on top of my layers, so I would check what I'm doing and then the reference, and I would also get the shapes from the reference and then I would color it in. I do not recommend doing this because, one, technically speaking, it is tracing, and through what I have been researching / what I learned just now, I may stand corrected, but the way I am doing it, it is considered acceptable, morally acceptable. And the exact technique I'm doing right now is called rotoscoping, though rotoscoping is more traditionally used in animation. I still consider myself a learner artist, and the main reason behind this drawing is because I wanted to learn something new. And as well as I wanted this piece to be accurate to the game scene, but at the same time add my own twist to it. I can confidently say several months later, I have learned a lot from this drawing, and I actually started implementing new techniques in my newer drawings. I never realized just what a debate it is over what is tracing, what isn't tracing, is it okay or is it wrong? On YouTube, I found a reel from this artist called Ssavaart. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, but his reel really summed up my thoughts on it all, and it was very insightful for me.
Is tracing the same thing as copying? It's a good question.
Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
You can trace without copying, and you can copy without tracing, and you can do both. When I did the Studying Master series, I projected the images onto the paper and traced them to speed up the process. I then copied the art in my style and medium of choice. This was both copying the art and using tracing to achieve that goal. For this one, I didn't use tracing to make this colored pencil drawing from a photo I got online. But as you can see, I'm copying the photo as closely as I can. In the end, I have a pretty close copy of the photo with no embellishments. So copying, but no tracing. On this one, from my hair journal, I traced the face to speed up the process. But then I changed the look, the style, the features, and made it something that's very much quite my own work. So in this case, I traced, but I didn't copy. See the difference? So in summary, tracing and copying, copying, no tracing, and tracing, no copying. Copying and tracing are essential tools for all artists. Just make sure that you credit your references and get permission if you plan on making prints.
So basically, to sum it up, what I have done in this drawing is technically copying and tracing, but I did it in a way to learn and grow to better my art style into something I like. As long as I don't sell any prints, wasn't planning on it, and give proper credit to Warframe, I'm morally in the clear. Ssavaart did continue his explanation in a comment on his reel, and that too was insightful for me. Ssavaart goes on to explain, 1. The purpose of this video is to clarify the difference between tracing and copying. I saw way too many people thinking that tracing was copying, and it's not. 2. We as artists have the full and complete right to copy exactly if we want anything in the world. You see a photo you like? Copy it. You see a work of art you love? Copy it. A national monument? Go for it. There are no laws or any moral imperatives that say you cannot copy what you want. Make a complete 100% replica. Have fun. This is how we learn. This is how we grow as artists. 3. If you post that copy of someone else's work and claim it's yours with no credit to the original artist, this is still okay. There are no laws about this. Is it morally good? No. Are you a bad person for doing it? Probably. But it's not illegal, that I know of. 4. Copying someone's work and selling it, making prints, or profiting from it in any way, that's copyright theft and is illegal. Duh, don't do that. 5. In the end, if an artist inspires you to create art and you feel compelled to copy their works, credit them, praise them, lift them up. It's the right thing to do. And by artists, I mean photographers, cosplayers, models, sculptors, and any other art that inspires you to create. Share it with the world. Don't keep it for yourself. Be proud that you found art that makes you want to create. Say, I copied this person's art because it's amazing and I want to figure out what makes it tick. There's no shame in that, but there is shame in claiming it's yours. So, don't do that. Okay. The main reason why I'm bringing all of this up, because I just felt like it was important to talk about it. to be honest, at the beginning of this video, I had no idea if this piece was actually worthy of any praise just because it's not my scene, and it didn't come out of my head. But yeah, what do you think? Is this piece morally wrong or right? Let me know. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions. Okay, it's currently the next day, and I stayed up till 6 a.m. editing this video, only to just restart because I was not making any sense. Maybe I was, but it doesn't really seem like I was. So I was struggling with what do I talk about next, and after sleeping on it, I think I know what I want to talk about. Before the New Year's, I hanged out with my friend, and they asked me what were my New Year goals for 2026. And if I'm being honest, I didn't give them a great answer because I had no idea what were my goals for 2026. For the most part, the last couple of months of 2025 for me hadn't been great, so I didn't even want to think about 2026. After editing this video and I watched a whole bunch of Smosh Mouth, I think I have those goals in my head now. In 2026, I'd like to consistently post more on social media and actually make something out of my Twitch. Maybe make my own VTuber model? That would be really cool. The reason why I brought up Smosh Mouth is because I generally like to listen to them, like, talk, like on their podcast or when they play games with their crew, while I'm cooking or playing video games that don't need my 100% attention. Warframe. And I was listening to Smosh's 2026 predictions, and in this episode it's Amanda, Courtney, and Shane. They were talking about just like videos and artists in like a segment. I'm not gonna insert the clip, but I'll have it somewhere on the screen, the time and the actual video itself. And basically Shane was just saying how he really loves when YouTubers drop videos every few months and they just take time in their videos. Like, they don't try to consistently post every like weeklies and stuff. And I don't know, when I heard this, it kind of like clicked something in my brain. I would procrastinate editing videos because it took a lot of energy and time from me, and I still just have huge amounts of just art footage that has been building up in my folder, and it's like rotting. It's rotting in there. I think I have like 60 gigabytes worth of footage. And like, I guess the thought of me having to post weekly and then like actually have to edit these videos was really overwhelming. Like, when I make my videos, it takes so many hours just planning, editing, making the script, hating said script, and just restarting and doing it all over again because I just don't think it's good enough. And because of that, I would just lose the motivation and say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and guess what? I'll do it next week. It's a very bad cycle that I have to slowly work myself out of, but we all start from somewhere, right? Okay, to end off this segment, I want to end it off with thank you so much to anyone who has supported me throughout 2025 or just the years before that as well. Anyone who has liked, followed, even looked at any of my YouTube videos, I deeply appreciate it. You know, if you followed me from Twitch, thank you. Even though I barely stream anymore, I still appreciate it. And I hope that everyone, including myself, can have a great 2026, and I'll be more on the internet. Oh, I don't think I want to be more. But yeah, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate anything any support. It has kept me going in my art, and it's one of like the only driving factors that just keeps me wanting to do more and more and just get better in my art. So yeah, thank you. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video, you would never believe it, Warframe! It is a Warframe time lapse. I'm definitely a new gen to the Tenno. The actual like player base of Warframe is called Tenno. I started playing in July of 2025 when I finally saw Warframe in my recommended on Steam. But in fact, this was not the first time I had heard about Warframe. I think the actual first time just discovering Warframe was through my TikTok For You page. I think it was a video about Quincy. Yeah, it was Quincy's romanced voice lines from the Hex. And if you picked up anything from the intro, I just had to play the game. No, I'm just joking. When I first started playing Warframe, the story and gameplay actually differed a lot from the overall idea that I had in my head about Warframe. In fact, in the beginning, Warframe's story had me so confused. Plus with the gameplay that I didn't really understand, I ended up kind of like on and off dropping playing the game throughout August, September, and October. And you can actually see that in my Steam review, but in November was the month I really got into Warframe. I think that's because I actually like sat down and watched a 2-hour long lore explanation that really helped me understand the Warframe story and realize I was playing a game with an amazing story. And I, like in November, I finally got to the story quest, the Hex 1999, and oh my god, it was absolutely peak. It was so good. And after that, like, after all of those story quests, I actually took the time to learn the game, learn the characters and the warframes, and how to actually get in-game currency without spending money, because I thought in the beginning you had to spend money to get currency, but that was not the case. One thing I'll definitely give faults to Warframe is that when you're a new player, it's like you're in the forest with no flashlight, like you're cooked. I was basically searching everything up to just, how do I do this? How do I do that? What the hell am I doing? What is this story quest? How do I finish this story quest? Why is it not showing up? And that kind of blows, you know, and it, to a lot of new players, they just end up dropping it. But regardless, gonna backtrack back to the story. The story, after I figured out what it actually is, it definitely tied me into the game. And actually, one of my friends made fun of me for saying that the only reason why I'm playing Warframe is not for the gameplay. It's literally just because of the story. I'm going to give credit to Rebecca Ford, the creative director of Warframe. She has been doing an amazing job with Warframe. And when you look back in the older Warframe quests, story quests, and just the newer story quests and just like newer gameplay, you can really see just when she took over from Steve Sinclair, the previous creative director. It's amazing. It's really amazing. I believe the quest that she, like, when she took over as creative director is The Angels of the Zerman, The Jade Shadow Quest, Deruvi Paradox, Whispers in the Walls, Warframe 1999, and the latest story, The Old War. They have been absolute bangers. And not only that, but the characters introduced in Warframe 1999 and the new Devil's Triad, it's so refreshing to see such a complex, interesting, and unique group of characters. Like, I was actually excited to talk to the Hex members because they weren't boring to talk with, and they all had their own flaws, but they, like, I can't really explain it, but together they were a team, and despite going through something that would basically change you, they still, like, stayed together, you know? One of my friends, Bass, I actually kind of got him into Warframe, but I'll tell you, he definitely had a lot of complaints about Warframe. But when he actually got to the Hex in Warframe 1999, he kind of shared the same sentiment. And, you know, I'll pull up those text messages. Hold on. So my friend goes on to say, I thought it was a great experience. The start of the game felt like a bit of a dredge, but hitting the Drifter storyline brightened that bitch up. And then the Hex storyline fully felt like I was genuinely talking to people who know time looping but don't recall it, which is like unfortunate, but made the game more realistic. Plus, the story and how they felt was genuinely amazing to understand. They felt like more than just game characters. Learning more about them through the friendship messaging system didn't feel like a chore, but felt like genuinely becoming friends with people. I am still extremely surprised at how real their reactions felt to their situation, and the voice actors did so fucking good in letting us hear that. Yo, I can't even add on to that. He put it amazingly. Like, it's so peak. If you want to know if you should get into Warframe, definitely I'd say give it a try. If you don't like it, it's not for everyone. But the story is so good. The story is so good. I did not expect to yap that long. Thank you so much for listening to that whole tangent. For the rest of this video, I'm just gonna stay silent. There's nothing really left for me to talk about, so you can watch the ending of the time lapse and I'll pop back in at the ending. Have fun!
Embrace us.
for watching. You know what? I'm tired of this filter. Get it off of me.
Phew, that's better. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said earlier, I really appreciate it. Please leave a like and subscribe, and if you want to check out any of my other socials, I will put my link tree down below in the description along with the credits for the amazing music in this video. Also, if there's any fan art you want to see me do, please leave that in the comments. Thank you again. Bye bye!